Filmmaker, Hollywood has abandoned you, and that's okay. I saw a video recently with Jim Cummings talking about how he views Hollywood. And this is the guy who did everything right. Went to Sundance with a short film, made a feature film, crowdfunded it. And he said that there was a serial killer that drove around different college campuses. I guess it was in the 70s or something. And they would purposely look for people who needed a ride in his car, and he had a car. And when they'd come up to him, they'd ask for a ride, and he'd look at his watch and like, I don't know. And they'd feel inconvenienced, like they're inconveniencing him, and say, oh, no, it's right over there. I can go over there and you know, it'll be quick. I'm not going to take too much of your time. And then he'd kill them. Worked every time. It tricked a part of the person's brain. And I really like this analogy. I'm glad I saw that video by Jim Cummings. The moral of the story is, if you can make your own car or get your own vehicle, you can avoid that. And I really don't think that I want to ever get help from someone with financing a film or distributing it unless I've already done all of that myself. I've already produced the film that I want to make myself the way that I want to, and I have already distributed it myself. Now I might, use a website for independent filmmakers like filmhub.com, which allows you to, for 20%, put your film out on all the different streaming platforms. I might try that. I might try, to get it on Tubi or something. And also I might even use YouTube, or sell DVDs or physical copies or on-demand things myself, if I can find a way to do that. And that sits well with me. And also it means I'm responsible for creating the audience and getting the eyeballs. And I think that's why I've been doing the YouTube channel partially. It's mainly because I want to help people and help people along their journey by sharing what's helped me with mine. But if this, when this YouTube channel picks up and becomes more popular, more successful, I think that'll help me have a platform to share the films that I'm working on with people and get them excited and interested about it or about them. And I encourage you, if you're a filmmaker, to try this. No editing, just record videos, put them out there, put a screenshot as your thumbnail, and do them daily if you can. That seems like a really successful path that a lot of YouTubers are actually exploiting, or not exploiting, but utilizing, because you're creating more pots. There's a study where a professor split his class into two and had one side make one pot for the entire semester, and the other half make as many pots as they could for the entire semester. And the quality of the pots from group B, who made as many as possible, was far better and surpassed the quality of the pots made by group A, who made just one. And with YouTube or filmmaking, with YouTube, that's the same. So just doing a lot of short videos where you talk on camera like this and figure out ways to get better at it. For me, I'm finding having a desk in front of me is better than just sitting like this in front of the camera with it close up on me without a monitor. I was trying to do that recently, and I found that I just got stuck in my head. But if I'm able to look at myself talking, it really helps me out. And I'm also finding scripts don't work because it takes too much time, and it actually gets me, I think it gets in the way to some degree. But just finding ways to iterate and try new things, build up a YouTube channel, become a personality. Put yourself out there if you want to be a filmmaker. If you really care about filmmaking, put yourself out there, and not just talk about filmmaking stuff. Talk about anything that interests you and see if that works. See if that is something that, that gets people to click on it, the video. Like, the more people who are interested in you for you are going to be interested in your movies. And YouTube is a great way, a great machine for organically finding that audience for you, but it's going to take time. Like, I imagine I might have to do 1,000 videos like this in order for the algorithm to favor me and put me in front of you. If it's already gotten me in front of you, great. I'm actually really happy about that. But no, it's this is the game that you have to play as a filmmaker, I think. And this comes from spending over 15 years as an overthinker in analysis by paralysis and not having a game plan. I was trying to read The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss and create some kind of muse and whatnot. And I was trying to do all sorts of other things. I was trying to, use the gig economy in the sense of I'm getting hired to work on other people's films. And that doesn't really seem to be the, that pays the bills, but it's not gonna be a long-term strategy, especially as the film industry is bottoming out and the middle class of the film industry is disappearing. You're not going to be able to have a family and make movies being hired by other people anymore, unless something changes drastically. So really, I think the only strategy you have as a filmmaker is to build a YouTube channel, build an online presence, at least something where you have total access and intimacy with an audience. If they spend a lot of time watching your videos, you can offer them things. You can, if you're offering them free content that helps them or is about you and gets them interested in what you have to talk about, then yeah, they're going to want to spend more time with you or pay for whatever you have to offer. I think we have to start thinking about filmmaking in the sense of you have to market yourself as a person first. I think the days of there's this feeling that you can be this faceless company that, produces films. And I don't know if that's the case. I don't think it is. I think, that's something that used to happen and it still does. And, they make these are the companies that make multi-million-dollar films, but everyone likes to, all these indie filmmakers just want to, piggyback or be like them. They're trying to be like them. You can't think like that. You gotta come from a place that puts you at an advantage, which is intimacy. You need the audience to feel like they know you as a friend. And YouTube is a great way to do that. I'm learning. And through that, you can market and distribute your films organically and make business offers or just get money from ad revenue. And my goal, once that works for me, is to teach people how to succeed at writing and directing narrative films, not just the entire process, but also how to succeed at it and make it their living. If I can do it myself, I want to teach people how to do that themselves too, and do it in a way that is spiritually wholesome and, gives you inner peace, gets you closer to God, and makes your life overall better, makes you a better person, and makes the world a better place. If I can do all those things, then other people can mimic that and replicate that and use it for themselves. And maybe eventually I want to be able to make enough money that I can hire people to do that and be full-time writer directors. I don't think that's ever been a thing. And that would be that's where I get into the territory of I want to create my own film industry. It's kind of like the Martin Scorsese thing of, he says, don't worry about what the industry is doing. Create your own industry. I think I get it now. We can't be focused on what we can do to succeed in the industry because the industry is dying. It hasn't just abandoned you. It abandoned its audience. How often do you see movies getting made that are actually good? But that could be changed. And you know who's going to change that? You. You're the only person that can fix that. By making your movie now. Write and direct the movie you always wanted to make. And, you know, you're not going to go the path of Tarantino or Christopher Nolan or any great director who you look up to. You're not going to get millions of dollars to make your movie. The cavalry is not coming. You have to use what you have at your disposal now and get better at using it until audiences don't give a crap that you're not making films with millions of dollars or stars attached to them. They're going to love the work that you do with what you have at your disposal, the resources, the money, the camera, the audio, the editing, your skill set, the actors who have become your friends, who you trust and can take a leap of faith with and know that they're not going to screw you over. If you can do all that and then make something that people can't ignore, you're set. You don't need Hollywood. So, get to work. I hope this video was helpful. I'm Thomas Prophet. I am the Bob Ross of the film industry. I teach all things life, relationships, art, spirituality, and I basically try to figure out this whole thing and share it with you. And if you enjoy this and found it useful, like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. And I hope to see you next time. Check out my most recent video on the screen, and later.